The screenplay of Slumdog Millionaire, based on the novel by Vikas Swarup, has been adapted to the silver screen with a rare, vibrant rhythm. Love, money, violence, all the typical and attractive themes of Indian films have resonated through a story with a happy ending. Jamal and Latika are happy together. However, what the film crew and British director Danny Boyle want to convey to the world audience has a higher human value. That is the relationship between people in the vortex of integration and economic development. 2. Film content. Set in 2006, the film opens with a scene in Mumbai. A police officer, Irfan Khan, is torturing Jamal Malik, Dev Patel, a former street kid from the Juhu slums. Jamal, Dev Patel, is a contestant in the Indian version of the TV game show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Hindi. Kaun Banega Crorepati, similar to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire in Vietnam, hosted by Prem Kumar, Anil Kapoor. He won 10 million rupees, about $200,000, and had reached the final question, worth 20 million rupees, when the game ran out and was to continue the next day. After being reported by Prem Kumar, the police suspected Jamal of cheating, as the other possibilities, that he had vast knowledge or that he was very lucky, were unlikely. Jamal later explained that, except for the question about Bollywood superstar Amitabh Bachchan, which was too simple, he knew the answers to most of the questions by chance, because they had happened in his life, conveyed through a series of memories depicting his childhood. These include scenes of him getting a portrait of Bachchan, his mother's death in anti-Muslim violence, referring to the 93 anti-Muslim attacks in Mumbai in the slums, and how he and his brother Salim befriend Latika, Rubina Ali. He calls Salim and himself Athos and Porthos, and Latika is the third musketeer, a name they never learn. In Jamal's memory, the children were taken in by Maman, Ankur Vikal, while living in a garbage dump. Maman is a gangster, something they don't know when they first meet, who pretends to run an orphanage in order to collect street children so he can teach them how to beg for money. Salim, Ajaruddin Muhammad Ismail, is recruited into Maman's administration and is asked to bring Jamal, Ayush Mahesh Kadekar, to Maman so that he can blind him, which will increase his earnings as a busker. Salim protects his younger brother, and the three children try to escape, but only he and Jamal manage to escape, catching up to a departing train. Latika runs after him and grabs Salim's hand, but Salim deliberately lets go, and she is left behind as the train speeds away. The brothers make a living traveling on the roof of the train, selling goods, pickpocketing, and scamming unsuspecting tourists at the Taj Mahal by posing as tour guides. Jamal, Tanay Cheda, eventually convinces his brother to let them return to Mumbai because he wants to find Latika, much to Salim's annoyance. They eventually find the girl, discovering that she, Tanay Cheda, was raised by Maman to be a dancing prostitute whose virginity would fetch a high price. The brothers rescue her, but Maman stops them, and during the struggle, Salim, Ashutosh Lobo Gajiwala, pulls out a gun and shoots Maman dead. Salim then uses the fact that he killed Maman to get a job in the gang of Javed, Mahesh Mandrakar, a rival gang leader of Maman. Salim returns to the room where the three are staying and tells Jamal to leave. Jamal, knowing that his brother is there only to possess Latika, attacks his brother before Salim wrestles him back and threatens to kill him with a revolver. Latika intervenes and tells Jamal to leave, sacrificing herself to keep him safe. With Maman's men searching for him, Salim and Latika flee to another location, leaving Jamal to fend for himself. Years later, Jamal lands a job as a T-boy at a call center. When he is asked to cover for a coworker for a few minutes, he searches for Salim and Latika on the phone database and contacts Salim, Madhur Mittal, who is now a powerful figure in Javed's organization. Jamal meets a remorseful Salim in a rage. He asks Salim where Latika is. Salim, angry and confused that his younger brother still cares for the girl, replies that she is far away. Salim invites Jamal to live with him. Jamal then secretly follows Salim to Javed's house, where he sees Latika, Frida Pinto, who sees him too. He manages to break in, first posing as a cook and then as a dishwasher. Jamal and Latika have an emotional reunion, but the joy quickly turns to disappointment after Jamal discovers that Latika is married to Javed. Jamal convinces Latika to run away with him. She refuses and asks him to forget her and leave immediately. But Jamal still affirms his love for her and promises to would wait for her every day at 5 p.m. at Mumbai's largest railway station, Chhatrapati Shivaji Terminus, CST, until she arrived. One day, while Jamal was waiting there, Latika came to see him, but she was caught by Salim and Javed's men. Javed slashed her face as Salim drove away, leaving an angry Jamal with a crowd of onlookers. Jamal lost contact with Latika again when Javed moved to another house in the suburbs of Mumbai. To find Latika, Jamal tried appearing on a popular game show, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, because he knew she would be watching. He made it to the final question, despite the host's hostility in feeding Jamal the wrong answer during a break. At the end of the show, Jamal has just one more question to answer to earn 20 million rupees, about $400,000. But the host calls the police to take him to the station, where he is tortured into revealing how he, a slum dog, could have known the answers to so many questions. After Jamal tells the police inspector the whole story, explaining how his life experiences coincidentally helped him answer each question, the inspector calls Jamal's explanation bizarrely plausible and, knowing that he is not in it for the money, allows him to return to the show to compete in the final question. At Javed's headquarters, Latika watches a news report about Jamal's miraculous performance on the show. Salim gives Latika his phone and car keys. He urges her to run away and forgive him for what he did. The final question asks what the name of the third musketeer in the story The Three Musketeers is. When Jamal uses the call a friend help to call Salim, Latika answers the phone just in time, and they are connected again. She also does not know the answer to the last question, but tells Jamal that she is safe and that I am yours in Hindi, without subtitles, before the 30 seconds are up. Jamal correctly guesses the answer, Aramis, to the question about the musketeer the children have never heard of, and wins the highest amount of money. At the same time, Salim is discovered to have helped Latika escape and allowed himself to be shot in a bathtub full of money after killing Javed. Salim's last words are, God is great. Later that night, Jamal and Latika meet again at the train station and they share a kiss. The scene then gives the correct answer to the question at the beginning of the film. D, it was decided, implying that it was fate. In the credits at the end of the film, in a scene reminiscent of many a Bollywood musical, Jamal and Latika, along with many others and their teenage characters, dance in the CST train station to the song Jai Ho, a title that encapsulates the triumph. Casting Dev Patel as the main character, Jamal Malik, a Muslim Indian boy in the Bombay/Mumbai slums. Director Boyle cast hundreds of Bollywood kids and noted that most were strong, handsome, and heroic. Boyle's daughter pointed him to Dev Patel from his role in the British television series Skins. Ayush Mahesh Kedekar as Jamal in the early days, Tanay Cheda as Jamal as a teenager, Frida Pinto as Latika, the girl Jamal falls in love with. Pinto is a model and has never acted before. Explaining the unique shawl she wears in the film, designer Sutirat Ann Larlarb said, I wanted to make a mark at the end of the film, to make a connection between the yellow dress she wears as a child and her final appearance. The film also opens up a bright future for the child cast, who come from families in the slums of India. After the film, these Indian actors have a better life, access to civilization and education. Through the lives of the characters, Slumdog Millionaire describes a 20-year period in the city of Bombay, now Mumbai, India. The contrasting lives between bustling commercial centers and skyscrapers with the bottom of society being neglected, exploited, oppressed, are vividly portrayed in the film. The film both reflects the social picture in a country with a strong divide between the rich and the poor, like India, and cleverly conveys a humane message about human values and love. Therefore, when the film was shown, a series of protests took place in India because Indian people believed that the film had tarnished the image of this country with images of poverty, darkness,